Hello everyone, and today I know I've been wanting to make a couple videos on ancient empires and Divide et Impera since they've been updated recently, but I just haven't had the chance, and I've been super busy. But in the meantime, before I'm able to get those videos out there, I wanted to at least put something out there. So this is 77 BC, Twilight of the Republic. It's one of my favorite mods for Rome Total War, and I think one of the most overlooked mods for Rome Total War as well. And this is an older mod. It's no longer in development, but it was pretty much completed. So it's not like there's anything major left to add. But in any case, this mod is notable for a couple reasons. The most important one is that it starts in 77 BC, and it's pretty much the only major mod that has a campaign start date of 77 BC. And this is an interesting start date because while Rome is the dominant power at this point, you can see it controls part of Asia Minor, Greece, parts of Thrace, parts of Illyria, all of Italy, Tunisia, parts of Iberia, the southern part of Gaul. While it does control quite a bit of territory, it's not like all of Rome's enemies had been pounded into submission. So you still have large enemies in the east that are not Parthia. So Parthia is also it's also a good start date for Parthia because it's kind of when Parthia was quite strong, and it's not like under threat of destruction from the Seleucids at any moment, at least in Rome Total War standards. So that's good to see. And the Ptolemies are around, and they're weak. They're the last Diadochi kingdom, essentially, around. You also have access to the Kingdom of Judah, the Hasmonean Kingdom of Judea. Yeah, I think this is the only mod that includes them as a playable faction, so that's notable. Other than that, this start period is very good because it's kind of right in the thick of the Mithridatic Wars. So you have a very strong Pontus and a very strong Armenia at the same time. And they are scripted to be allies in this campaign. So you'll have Pontus and Armenia as large enemies in the east. And then even as Parthia, it'll be difficult to destroy them because they are scripted to remain allies and they don't just backstab each other. But of course, there are also other interesting factions, such as the Yuezhi, who eventually became the Kushan Empire later on, so it's nice to see them here. And the other interesting faction here is definitely the Sertorian Rebellion in Iberia. So this is, definitely one of the most interesting parts of the campaign because, the Sertorian Rebellion, so the Roman Republic is going through some major changes, some instability, a major rebellion in Hispania, and of course the script in this mod is quite major. So as the Roman Republic, of course, your major goal at the beginning is to fight the Sertorians and defeat them. And they control a bunch of provinces in Iberia there. So the Sertorian campaign is also quite interesting, I have to say. And another thing about this mod, so all of the unit rosters are quite expansive for all of the factions. So I have to say, the units are pretty good. A lot of them are based on Rome Total Realism units. As you can tell, this mod is essentially based upon the foundation of Rome Total Realism 5 or 6 Gold, I believe. And so it's for barbarian invasion, by the way. And but I have to say the map here is made much more accurate, so you don't have a lot of ridiculous city placement. For example, let's toggle the fog of war here. So Asia Minor looks a lot nicer. Syria, I have to say, looks a lot nicer in this mod compared to Rome Total Realism Platinum Edition. What else? Yeah, Caucasian Albania looks nicer. It has an actual city name for its capital instead of just calling it Albania. The East is a lot nicer. Yeah, the East is definitely made a lot nicer in this mod. But yeah, essentially, this mod is enhanced in every way. So it's basically Rome Total Realism Platinum Edition, enhanced in every way, made much more historically accurate, with a lot of historical characters. So, for example, Gaius Julius Caesar, he's 23 at the start of this campaign, and you can, play as him. He's in Sardis at the start of the campaign, so you can actually take him, build an army, and go conquer Gaul as Caesar. And that's pretty cool. And of course, there are many other historical characters as well with historical portraits. So you have Cicero, which is very cool to see. You have Cato, Senator Cato, very cool to see. I want to say there's another historical character around here, something. Yes, who's fighting the Sertorians? Gnaeus Pompey. Yeah, so Pompey is, of course, the major general at the start of the campaign for the Roman Republic. But, of course, there are other quite important generals as well. You got Paul McCartney over there. And you have Quintus Catulus, but I think he has the wrong portrait there, actually. Yeah, seems like it might be the wrong portrait there, but whatever. I actually never knew about that issue. But this campaign is quite scripted. So, for example, let me give an example. If you're playing as Pontus, and you take Cappadocia or Armenia, and you take Cappadocia, that will start war with Rome automatically. And I believe that generates some punitive expeditions for Rome. So you'll actually be facing down a strong Roman force. And that'll essentially be the Mithridatic Wars simulated. So there are a lot of very cool historical scripts. Let's show off some of the other units because the Roman ones are pretty standard, I'd say. So let's fire up an Armenian campaign because, of course, they also have a historical portrait. This was the time of Tigranes II, and I believe he's in the capital here. Yes, and he has a historical portrait. And of course, the Armenian unit roster, all the unit rosters are far better, far more expansive, and with native names. So far better than vanilla Rome Total Realism Platinum Edition, Rome Total Realism 6 Gold. Yeah, the unit rosters are much better, I have to say, especially in the East here. There were, I don't know, a lot of strange choices in Rome Total Realism Platinum Edition and in the previous version. So again, while the units do look similar to the Rome Total Realism Platinum Edition units, or the same, or are lifted from them, there are new additions. It's done in a much better way, and the AOR is also quite improved. So you can actually recruit mercenary generals. And of course, this mod, since it's based on Rome Total Realism, it utilizes the Rome Total Realism auxiliary system. So, for example, if we go to Fraspa here, has Armenian Auxilia phase 3. If we go to the capital, there's no such auxilia needed, no such colony system in order to recruit units. And that's of course, the building you need to recruit most units. So, for example, Nisibis also has a phase 3, so you get access to Arab spearmen and Armenian spearmen in Nisibis. In Edessa, you have phase 2, which gives you access to Arab spearmen. Samosata, again, this one gives you access to this kind of spear infantry. And of course, you actually don't have auxilia constructed yet in these territories in Syria that were recently acquired. So let's take a look at Pontus as well here. So of course in this time the major thing is that the Seleucids no longer exist, Macedon no longer exists, Pergamum no longer exists. Those are all part of Rome. And the Seleucid Empire has been destroyed. Armenia has taken Syria, and the Parthians have taken Mesopotamia. So the two Seleucid capitals, Seleucia and Antioch, are no longer under Seleucid control. You have the Nabateans, and you have the Hasmonean kingdom. Very cool to see. You also have the Ptolemies that are still around. So it's a very different balance of power. And of course, Pontus here has taken the Bosporan kingdom and Colchis. And those are kind of like vassal kingdoms under the king Mithridates VI. Actually, let's fire up a Pontus game here to show the Mithridates VI portrait. But yeah, in any case, that's pretty much most of what I wanted to cover here. This is an exceptional mod. I definitely want to do a Let's Play or a stream of it sometime soon, because I feel like this is... 77 BC was one of a series of mods called FRRE, Fall of the Republic, Rise of the Empire. There were 3 major mods in this series, if I'm not mistaken. So one of them was 77 BC. This one was a completed mod. There was also 58 BC, I believe, which is essentially like a Caesar sort of start date, Caesar and Antony, things like that. The civil war of that era. And that's a very cool start date as well. There was also TFT, I believe, and Famir, the First Man in Rome mod, which was a Marian campaign. Yeah, that was all very cool. Very cool. And so this is Mithridates, the 6th portrait. Not quite as good as the other portraits. He looks kind of like Doc Brown. I don't know. But yeah, again, the Pontic roster, very nice. You got the Pontic chariots, the Pontic javelin cavalry, Pontic phalangites. Very nice unit rosters in this mod, much better, much more enhanced. Just enhanced compared to regular Rome Total Realism Platinum Edition. And then, of course, yeah, you have a very different balance of power. I find it to be an exceptional mod. I really like it. I think it deserves more attention. It didn't quite get the attention it deserved back in the day when it was released, and it still doesn't get that much attention. But this mod, 58 BC, those 2 mods especially are a couple of my favorite mods. Very cool. It's something that I think Rome Total War is missing. So, you know, in the original medieval Total War, you had the era campaigns, early, high, and late. And then Rome Total War just had the grand campaign, no different start dates or anything. They kind of brought that back in Rome 2 with the various DLC campaigns, the era campaigns, especially Imperator Augustus, the 49 BC campaign, I believe, and Empire Divided with the Aurelian period campaign, 270 AD, is kind of a late era campaign. I feel that Rome Total War should have had at least a couple of era campaigns, including a late one like this, a late Republic one. And there are not a lot of mods that cover the late Republic period. So, like I said, Imperator Augustus campaign is basically right at the end of the Republic, and you don't really get access to like a big Roman Republic. And you don't have that option of saving the Republic, right, as Cicero. And this mod really gives you that option. And it also gives you the option of taking down the burgeoning Republic as Mithridates or Tigranes or the Parthians, who are quite strong in this mod as well. So, yeah, I really like this mod. It deserves a lot of attention. It gives Rome Total War that late Republic campaign that I feel like it deserved and never got. And not a lot of other mods cover this period. And they certainly don't have this start date. So yeah, this is a mod that I'm definitely going to cover a bit more as I do maybe a Let's Play and a stream of this mod in the future. And look forward to my videos on the Ancient Empires 2.0 update, as well as the latest Divide et Impera update. So, I'll see you guys in the next video.